Welcome back to Just Chattin', and this is the series of videos we do on Thursday and Sunday evenings just for our own entertainment. So, Audie is not with us today. He is outside sleeping in the sun on the patio. Now, I've mentioned before that once a year, the first good day of the year, Audie goes on walkabout. It's his thing, it's what he does. Usually it's nerve-wracking. Last year, he was gone 27 hours. I was not pleased. So this year, he snuck out the door at 6 o'clock last night, and then at 4 in the morning decided it was time to come in and started yelling at me through the open bedroom window. Now that's Audie's bedroom too, so he knows the windows are open. So I let him in. He curled up in bed immediately, went to sleep, didn't get up. Even when I got up, he wasn't interested in getting up, just gonna snooze. And now, even though he alternates between blaming me because he was left outdoors all night long and coming up to me for cuddle because he was left outdoors all night long, right now we've got quiet time. So we're going to take advantage of that and see if we can get this done. So the filming is a little different still, as I'm sure you can see. We're in the same corner, but I've moved back a little. I am now sitting in Audie's chair because he's not here. He's out snoozing on the patio. I have my editing software back, but I do not have my camera back. So we're going to make do, and this is going to be slightly shorter than average for our video time because of this change of camera deal. However, things are moving forward the way they are supposed to, and with any luck at all, by Sunday, we'll have the new camera in place, so things will be a little less hectic in terms of video creation. Now, today, we are going to talk about what everybody is talking about. However, we're going to take a different spin on this. So, when we come back. Yes, see, we've got our intro back because I got the editing software back. Still working out all the kinks of transferring to another computer, but we'll get there. So what's everybody talking about? Well, obviously, what's on everyone's mind as far as Nutmeg and her sock puppet go is the coronation. Yes, the sock puppet will be going. No, Nutmeg will not. I'm quite sure this comes as no surprise to any of us. The last time she was in the UK, she was not universally booed because it was the Queen's funeral. And that was just not going to happen. No one was going to act out during the Queen's funeral. That had nothing to do with Nutmeg. That was out of respect for the Queen. The time before that, of course, she was loudly booed. And I think we all know she was not going to run the risk of setting herself up for an encore performance. Now, here's the thing. I've listened to people from the moment that the date of the coronation was announced. I've been listening to people talking about how awful it was, the Sussex Squad, that Charles was going to have the coronation on Archie's birthday. You know, please. This putative child would be 4 years old, and 4-year-old kids simply don't know when their birthday is. They don't. That's all there is to it.
Are you seriously telling me you rescheduled Ethan's birthday?
He's 5.
What does he know?
Papa, you don't just change a little boy's birthday.
We changed your brother's birthday twice. He never found out.
Fact is, 4-year-old dolls. Do you know when your birthday is? No, no idea. So what's the big deal? Do we really need to worry about what's going on with the putative child's alleged birthday? No. But Charles, in setting the date for the coronation, had plenty of lead time and plenty of people around him in case he didn't happen to know that this date fell on the same day as his putative grandchild was allegedly born. If he didn't know, well, Camilla would have known, William and Catherine would have known, Anne, for heaven's sake, would have known, and that's probably the core of Team Charles at this point. Sophie and Edward, for sure, as well. So there were plenty of people to say, but Charles, there is a piece of plastic out in Montecito that will be celebrating its birthday on the 6th of May. Now, he knew. It's my personal belief, and I have heard no one else speculating on this point, so who knows, I could be totally off the mark, but I'm going to throw it out anyway. My personal belief that Charles most assuredly did know and did it on purpose, because this way there is a face-saving way for Nutmeg and or the sock puppet to refuse to attend the coronation. Well, it turns out the sock puppet's going, Nutmeg is staying because, you know, hey, ice cream and cake for the piece of plastic, that's such a big deal. And it gives them, well, a little wiggle room. Oh, she needed to be there because something else is going on. I think Charles did this deliberately. I think the 6th was a date carefully chosen just to allow for something like this. The royal family, and by that I mean the people in the UK, I do not mean the people in California. People in California are not a royal family. They cannot be. It's the United States. We don't have royal families. I know, tell that to the Sussex squad, right? So the former self-exiled ex-royals of Montecito, this is not the royal family. The real royal family certainly didn't want the kind of public relations disaster that Nutmeg and the sock puppet showing up for the coronation would be. Nutmeg cannot, she cannot keep quiet. She cannot blend into the background. She will pull stunts. Everyone knows this. When has she not pulled a stunt of some sort? And I think we all know that when the 6th of May rolls around, there will be a headline grab coming from Montecito in order to steal the thunder from Charles, because this is just what she does. She cannot bear the spotlight being on anyone other than herself. I mean, it's bad enough the spotlight's not on her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but oh, God forbid it should be on anyone else instead. So, what do I think of this? Oh yeah, I think they didn't want her. I think they really didn't want her enough to plan the coronation on a day when she could, with some degree of credibility, say, I have to be somewhere else. Perfect. As far as I'm concerned, Charles gets points for this. I don't think it was an accident. I think it was intentional, and I think it was very, very clever. So, good for him. So, what are the stories coming out about this? Well, the stories from the Sussex camp is that they felt that going to the coronation would be inauthentic, which is crazy because Nutmeg is probably the most inauthentic person on the planet. I mean, physically, this is a woman who has had a lot of procedures, plastic surgery, dental, cosmetic dentistry. Lord only knows, in the words of Lady C, the hair of 40,000 Turkish virgins. The truth is that this is a woman who doesn't have any sense of what authentic really is. None. So why would this be a big deal to her? Why? No, authenticity has nothing to do with it. The Sussex camp is also saying, look, this proves how much they care for their family. Why? Why? Because Tom Markle is going to be over in Montecito on the 6th of May celebrating the reborn baby's birthday, because Samantha will be there, because Tom Jr. will be there, because anyone besides Doria will be there. No. When people say things like, this shows how much Nutmeg and Ginger care about their families, it's like you just have to stop and take a breath. What do you mean? These are people who despise their families. These are people who can't even keep their contempt for their relations behind closed doors. They've got to throw it out in public and share it with all the rest of us. No, sorry, this is not about, oh, look how much they care about their family. The other thing that I heard was, this proves they're not trying to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out in terms of the royal family. And no, that's exactly what it does prove. Harry will be there, she'll be in California. That's probably the definition of 1 in, 1 out. So, despite the fact that people are trying to spin this any way they can, I see this as absolutely clear. Harry will be there because it's his father's coronation and his father wants him there. Nutmeg will not be there because people will boo her. Even people who might not want to sully the coronation for Charles are still probably not going to hide their distaste for his daughter-in-law. Kate, of course, is blamed. Oh, and I say Kate deliberately because I would prefer that they at least call her Catherine. She is the Princess of Wales at this point. But it's the blame Kate. And this has been the Sussex favorite party game for, oh my gosh, even before they were Sussexes. This goes back to before the marriage. Favorite party game is blame Kate. And Kate is now being blamed for this because allegedly Catherine was not happy with the prospect of Nutmeg showing up for the coronation. Well, what can I tell you? I'm sure that's absolutely true. Anybody who thinks that the Princess of Wales, who has never publicly said an unkind word about anyone, challenge, go ahead, find an unkind word she's ever publicly said about anyone. You won't do it, you will come up dry. The very idea that she is the one who said, well, if she's coming, I won't, is absurd. And again, nonsense from the Sussex camp. In my opinion, things have gone down so far in the best possible way. Yes, whether or not they were attending, will they, won't they, that was dragged out until the very last minute because naturally, the ex-royals of Montecito need to milk this for all the publicity they can draw from it. But when push comes to shove, they did end up making a decision. And again, last minute decision because what do they care about the convenience of all the people who have to make all the arrangements? They're just peasants, right? So what does it matter if they have to work a little harder? It's gone down in the best way that it could. With any luck at all, the sock puppet will behave himself during the coronation. That would be nice. with any luck at all, whatever publicity stunt Nutmeg pulls to draw attention away from the coronation will not be that big a deal and can easily be overlooked, at least by the people of the UK. Because I'd hate to see the coronation ruined for them. For most of the UK, this is their first coronation ever in their lifetime, because the last one was more than 70 years ago. So it would be nice if this went well for them. But we will see. So my take on it is, yeah, they knew what they were doing. This is not bad news for Buckingham Palace. This is the dominoes falling into place. Let's hope they have even more plans to slide into the chute in case there are further upsets. And I'm going to trust, because I think that Charles so far has really handled this as well as anyone could have. He's got his son going. He doesn't have to deal with his daughter-in-law. And there has been that plausible excuse of, baby birthday to satisfy her. I think Charles is probably more of a diplomat than I personally ever gave him credit for. So good for him. I'm glad he's proven me wrong. All right. Again, this is going to have to be short because I do have technical issues I'm coping with. That's what I have for you today. We will be going over to our Escaping 2020 videos over the weekend. And we will be back Sunday evening, hopefully with our regular camera equipment, so things will go a little more smoothly. And in the meanwhile, we're going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out and have a terrific day.